Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Quick channel update. My schedule, I'm going to change it up a bit because for quite a while it's been like I'd upload a video every other week, so I'm going to start uploading a little more frequently. For example, I have this video this week. I'm going to do one next week, then another one the following week. The week after that I'll probably skip, and the week after that I'll do another one. So that's just kind of an idea. And it's always Wednesdays and Thursdays. Like, Thursdays is always like if it's like something to do with nostalgia, or if it's anything Nintendo related. Don't ask. Most of the comedy stuff that I did, like when I first started the channel a few years ago, I kind of like the lip syncing type of thing. I've kind of retired that from the channel. I might start another channel for it. I don't know, maybe not, but I'm gonna stick with like kind of the gaming, and then the obviously like the toy stuff, which is usually like World and Nintendo related, so that's somewhat gaming basically. And I incorporate plenty of comedy into those videos. Anyway, on to today's topic. There's a rumor going around that Nintendo is going to make an SNES Classic Edition or an SNES Mini, and although I own a physical one, an actual original Super Nintendo, and then, I like having multiple options, and as I've said a million times, the Super Nintendo is my favorite console of all time, and naturally, like a lot of people, the idea of an SNES Classic Edition, I made a video of it, like a lot of people did. I did mine back in February, if you want to check it out. But yeah, my love for this system knows no boundaries. No, I'm kidding. Good example would be that I bought at least 6 or 7 issues of Nintendo Power from 1994. Why? Well, if you look at the table of contents in this one, there's a cover of 1 NES game, 2 Game Boy, and 7 Super Nintendo. So that's what a lot of 94 issues were like. They mainly covered Super Nintendo games. Now let's look at my collection. You might notice I'm missing a few, like Super Metroid, Donkey Kong Country, Final Fight, the hell was it called? Zombies Ate My Neighbors, and the list goes on. But the thing is, a lot of the games I got on like my Wii Virtual Console in like 2009, 2010. It's actually one of the things that made me buy a Wii. And then it was in 2013 was when I started physically collecting like retro games stuff. A lot of the only ones I had to buy was an NES and a Super Nintendo. All the other systems I still had from over the years. But that's why like some of the titles might be missing. Anyway, onto the collection. First we have Super Mario All-Stars with Super Mario World. I bought this a few years ago for like $20. Now it's up to $100 for whatever reason. I don't know. Demand, I guess, or something. F-Zero, of course. One of the many launch titles. Star Fox. That game takes me back. Tetris Attack. That's a classic. My neighbor and I played that so much. Pilot Wings, another launch title. Stunt Race FX. The game is pretty fun, actually. I think it is. Probably another one of the more forgotten IPs, I guess you could say. Mario Paint, which I do have the mouse and gamepad. Unfortunately, the game doesn't really hold up as well because, it's obviously outdated with so many other paint programs out there. I do have another game, King Arthur's World. This utilizes the mouse, so it's like, might as well have a couple of them. I might get some more games that utilize the mouse. Tiny Toon Adventures, Buster Bunny Bust Loose. That's actually my favorite show of all time, or at least when I was a kid. Peacekeepers. I don't know why somebody wrote Herb on there, but whatever. That's a neat little beat 'em up that I played so much as a kid. Actually, I still play it. Of course, this is more expensive now. I think it goes for like $60. I probably paid like $25 for it or something, but probably because it's more underrated. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's a prequel to Brawl Brothers. The Adventures of Mighty Max, based off the TV show, based off the toys, because that was an old tactic Mattel used to use, that they'd have a new toy line coming out, so they're like, oh, let's make a show that gets kids excited for the toys, which usually it worked. Funny thing, I didn't really own any of the toys or the play sets, but I watched the show religiously. My favorite episode was the one called Magnificent Seven, when they recruit the heroes from around the world, which, of course, they all have to die in the show. Mickey Mania. Nickelodeon. Real Monsters. Toy Story. That Real Monsters game actually isn't bad. King of the Monsters 2. This and Tetris Attack. My neighbor and I played those games. Like, I think we played those more than anything else. Super Game Boy allows you to play Game Boy games on your Super Nintendo. The Terminator. It's alright. Hard, but not bad. Choplifter 3. That's a classic. Joe and Mac. Somebody decided to write Norman on there. Hyperzone. It's like a rail shooter. Kind of like Star Fox. Super Star Wars. TMNT 4, Turtles in Time. I actually just bought this and got a really good deal on it, so I'll mention that in my next pickups video. Tiny Toon Adventures Wacky Sports Challenge. It's like a 4-player game with all kinds of mini-games and stuff. It's not bad. Secret of Evermore. Labels is kind of banged up, but whatever. It has came with a sleeve, so whatever. This is a great game. It's like an RPG adventure type of game where you play as this kid and his canine companion. You travel through time, and the dog like changes his form. And the funny thing, I remember when I got this, because naturally it was used, it only had like an hour. The previous save on it only had like an hour of gameplay, which means the person barely played it. I'm like, you kidding me? This is such a good game. Anyway, Arrow the Acrobat, another one of those forgotten platformers. Well, I don't know if you'd call him forgotten, but you know. He was one of those characters that couldn't really compete with Mario and Sonic. That's one of the things I loved about this, when you had characters like that come along and tried to jump out on the flight. Power Pigs in the Dark Ages. I think that was a show, the Power Pigs. I could be wrong. Thunder Spirits. It's like a... Darn it. Yeah. Vortex. This is pretty much the same idea as Star Fox, but you play as like a robot and you can change it to different vehicles. Killer Instinct. I remember when that was first coming out. I remember playing it in the arcade. Super R-Type. X-Men Apocalypse. Probably one of the best X-Men games ever made. Very hard, though. It's one of those type of games that I feel like you get better at it every time you play, or you get further every time you play. T2, the arcade game. Obviously, it's not as good as the arcade version, but whatever. Ultraman. Battletoads Double Dragon. Classic. The Lawnmower Man, based off the movie, which was based off the Stephen King tale, sort of. Well, the Stephen King thing, the Stephen King story was that it was a guy who killed people with his lawnmower. Then they took the title and made it into a movie about, like, computer viruses and virtual reality. Okay, so Stephen King was like, yeah, take my name off that movie. Super Bomberman 2. Clay Fighter. These games are still pretty fun. They hold up pretty well. I think they're actually making a new one, but I don't know. RoboCop vs. Terminator. That's a classic. Brutal Paws of Fury. It's like a kind of like Street Fighter but with animals. I think it holds up pretty well. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's another classic. Captain America and the Avengers. Probably not as good as the arcade version, but whatever. Still happy to have it. Batman Returns. That's another classic. I love the movie, too. Bob. He's got a bunch of bees here. Bubsy. Claus. Yeah. I kind of have a soft spot in my heart for Bubsy. I don't know why. Rise of the Robots. This game is very clunky, but I like the music. And I got it for like $5, so whatever. Jurassic Park Part 2. I forget what it... Oh yeah, The Chaos Continues. This was a cool game. It's pretty much like... It wasn't really based off any of the movies. It was just like a sequel to the game or something, but whatever. It's a good game. It's kind of like Contra. Cool Spot. Yeah, let's make I think he was on the NES too. Yeah, let's make a video game based off the old 7-Up mascot guy thing. Yeah. TMNT Tournament Fighters. This was a pretty good game. A fun fighting game. I think it was on the NES too. I feel like I remember the NES version a little more for some reason. Harley's Humongous Adventure. It's like a little mini guy that goes on. Yeah. It's a platformer game where you play as like this little miniature guy. Virtual Bart, which is, yeah, and Plock. Very interesting platformer. And my last two was I have 2 games with the box, which I actually got on the same day of my birthday when I was 9, or when I turned 9. Street Fighter 2, which is complete. And the other is sorry, Mega Man X2. This one, I do have the instructions. The other one, unfortunately, I don't know what happened to my Street Fighter 2 instructions, and the game is upside down. But that's my physical SNES collection. I might do some more. Probably for the systems I have the most games, which would include NES, N64, PS1, and Xbox 360. So are you guys excited for the SNES Classic Edition? You know, I feel like, for me personally, there's more hype for that rather than the NES one. But what are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, you can give it a thumbs up. You can always hit that little red subscribe button down there in the corner of the video. And as always, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.